Hello, and welcome to this 8th video in using Blender for video editing. In this session, we'll talk about saving your work, saving your project file so that you can stop and come back to it another day. It's very simple. You've probably already guessed at it or done it or thinking about how to do it correctly right now as I'm talking, but there's a few extra things to discuss, so let's get into it. So as you can see on my screen, I've already done some work and now I'm ready to save. So I will go to, probably as you guessed, File and Save. And as you can see, we also have the Control-S keyboard shortcut as usual. As soon as I choose Save, then I'm presented with this interface where I can pick where I want the file to go and what to call it. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it to this location. And I will call it example. As soon as I press enter, it will automatically add the .blend extension, which is Blender's project file extension. And I click Save Blender File, and it's done. So now up here you can see next to the name of the program, within the square brackets is the path, the full path name of my project file. And if I go into Windows Explorer, you can see it's right there. So if I close Blender now, and then I double click on that, it'll open and we'll be right back to where it was before. Now here's a few things that's good to know about. Let's say I'm doing some work and I decide to, maybe I'll change the end frame to this spot here, and I go to File and Save, and now I've saved over the existing file. But if we go back into Windows Explorer, you'll see now I have two files, and here's the file I was expecting to see, but then there's also this .blend1. What that is it's the Blender's automatic backup of your project files. If we go back to Blender and we go to File, User Preferences, and go to the File tab, you can see here it says Save Versions and set to 1. So every time you save, then it'll take what was your then current project file, add a 1 to the extension, and then save the new version. So you'll always have a backup, which is handy in case you kind of screwed something up. You've got that plus or minus 1 version to go back to. The other thing is that you can actually explicitly do it yourself. Like me, for example, I like having multiple versions of my projects files, especially when I'm doing something big. So I might have one per day, maybe sometimes multiple ones per day, depending on how crazy it gets. And you can do that by going to File, Save As, and then using this plus sign over here. So you can see my file name is still example.blend. If I click the plus sign, now it automatically adds a 1. And you can keep clicking the plus signs. Let's say I had example 1 already, now click it again, and now I have example 2, and so on. And so when you save it, then now you have your newly named file, and you can keep doing that and having your multiple versions if that's what you like. There's one final thing that I wanted to mention, is that you saw that when I made a change, let's say I make a change to this now, I'll just cut that. When I went to File, Save, Blender did it without any question. But if I use the keyboard shortcut, like I'm about to do right now, it gives this prompt screen, and I don't know why it does that, but you can accept it by pressing enter, and then the result is what you expect. So now if we go back over here, we have our example .blend, our .blend1, and now that I've saved it and saved over it again, now I have example2.blend and example2.blend1. So that's it. That's pretty much all I wanted to tell you about, and it's as simple as that, I guess. So that's it for now, and see you next time. Bye.